A beautiful morning to you, and oh, what a time to be alive. You need to take a deep breath and get ready for another thrilling start to the day. This is your premium breakfast show.
Yes, indeed. We have officially started counting down to the end of the year. It's November 2nd, so that means in 60 days we'll be done with 2021. Goodbye, ta-ta. Thank you very much. Don't come again. But hey, let's not forget that this is still Tuesday, and it's our anticipated Tuesday edition, isn't it?
Now, whatever it is you want in your morning, you're going to find it right here at some point or another. The only requirement is that you stick with us through it all the way till the end.
Absolutely, people. Now, we are doing our part here to bring smiles to your faces in spite of everything that's going on. And trust me, I've been through a lot since last night after my phone broke, so I'm not in the best of minds. No, I'm not. But came in this morning with a big, bright smile to make my day a bit brighter. So, hey, thank you very much. and Mike, how you guys doing?
We're
Good.
great.
Very,
And yes, talking about big hair, don't care.
yes. Very cold Tuesday morning, by the way.
Yes,
How's the rain? How's the rain at yours? Did it rain at your side?
Hey, I loved that rain.
You did?
Oh my world.
What happened during the rain?
Hey!
Cuddled and cozied.
Wow.
And oh no, it was a feel-good
Enveloped.
night, I must say. I had such a restful night. Thank you for the rain.
It was. But we're here to put that sunshine in your face this morning.
Yeah, let's be the sunshine in
Yeah.
the rain.
It is that kind of weather that makes you wish you had your duvet with you everywhere you go.
Duvet?
Duvet?
Who wants a duvet in this kind of weather? You know what it will be to be a fly on the wall? No, a mosquito on the wall in MM's room last night.
Really? I said duvet because we're a breakfast show. Anyhow, my name is Titi Layo Oyinsan.
And my name is Mazino P. Remember, you can stream the show live, and all you need to do that is, well, tvcentertainment.tv. It's that simple.
And of course, our hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC across all social media platforms is right there for you to be a part of the show. You can watch us live from absolutely anywhere in the world with our mobile app. Just download from either Google Play or iOS.
And by the way, we also implore you guys to follow us across all social media platforms, huh? Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We are at TVC Connect. Now, let's let you guys know what we have coming up for today's show.
We have Femi Shofolue, a thoroughbred, passionate youth teacher, someone with more than a decade hands-on experience with teens and youth counseling. Today, we have a very important discussion. You need to stay close for that one.
And Dr. Diran Onifade, the CMO for Dr. Connect, will be here to talk about the risk factors for diabetes. Dr. Diran is interested in developing the state of health in Lagos State via adoption of health technology and also machine learning to drive the new trend of the profession in the country. And we are very excited and looking forward to having one of Nigeria's very first VJs, Pearl Elizabeth Amini Hart, popularly known as Pearl Cardy, on the show today. She's an honor personality, TV presenter, travel blogger, influencer, and DJ as well. Believe it, yes, she is a DJ. She'll be here on the couch for an interesting chat, and let's look at what she has for the future.
Hi.
Yes.
A nice full couch this morning.
What are you
Full
doing during
couch.
the rain?
Full hair. Huh?
During the rain?
What are you all doing during the
Yeah,
rain?
so
I was sleeping.
when did
I don't
it
know what.
start?
It started about 11 p.m. last night, where I was. Yeah.
11 p.m.
Yeah, I
11
think it
p.m.
was, yeah, it was
around that time.
Thereabout, right? I think it was just there was breeze
It was
and all of
windy.
that. But then it started much later, and then it was very. Of course, NEPA had to do their thing.
Yeah, it's like that's how you know that rain is coming. They just take
But has
the
there?
power.
I mean, there's something that happened one time. Look, I was legit scared. There was no light for a very long time, for almost a day, and then rain starts, and then they bring the light.
Oh, wow.
No. Somebody didn't do their job well.
No, they are setting us up. They want the light to spoil. They want rain to drop
Spoil
an
the light.
installation or something. That is very intentional.
I don't know about you guys, but just
okay. I was going to say, no, it's fine. I was going to say that, you know, it is quite risky. The fact that they turn it off, I think, is actually a safety precaution.
Really?
You know, I actually think it is.
That
in
is
some
so
areas,
technologically
in
advanced.
some areas, hey, you never know where a cable
definitely.
or
It
wire
is
has
actually,
fallen.
to be honest, because
on the
even
roads,
on our
yeah.
way to the office this morning, I saw an electrical wire
Yeah.
that fell. You
It
know,
was very
yes.
windy.
So and
Yeah.
and I'm very, very thankful to the vigilantes because they were on alert. Immediately it fell, I could see that there was a tire there to let people that don't go that way.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I remember
another
also
route.
seeing, I think this was Sunday night, I also passed through Terminal Bridge. It was also serious rain. and there was this multi-accident. Although it wasn't so serious, but you know, cars were damaged, which is cool enough. No human beings damaged. Cars were damaged. It was like 5, 6, 7 cars.
Wow.
And then, you know, it all goes to say people should be careful.
Yeah.
When it's raining, that's not the time to want to show.
Speed,
And then that thing that they do, it's something people believe, but it's a misconception that when you speed up over water, you wash your car or something.
I'll tell you something.
Don't do that.
Something for a fact is this: it's actually most dangerous just after the rain.
Don't
Not
do
during
that.
the rain, after the rain, because a little sand and everything makes it very, very slippery. So be careful out there. Welcome. It's a Tuesday. Let's do the news. My name is Mazino Appeal. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed optimism that Africa's plan to restore over 100 million hectares of degraded landscape for productive agriculture is achievable. He made this remark on Monday in Glasgow, Scotland, at a side event of the Climate Change Summit. COP26 on the Great Garden, or rather Great Green Wall, co-hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron. The Prince of Wales and also the Mauritanian President Mohamed Ould Ghazouani. This side event with the theme Accelerating Land Restoration in Africa. The case of the Great Green Wall initiative is to ascertain if the goal of restoring over 100 million hectares of degraded landscape for productive agriculture is still on course. President Buhari reminded the gathering about the 4th edition of the One Planet Summit on Biodiversity, organized by the French government in Paris, France on the 11th January 2021, whose outcome included the pledge of $19.6 billion by a coalition of international communities to upscale the implementation of the Great Green Wall initiative in Africa. Now, at least 2 persons have been killed and several other worshippers abducted when armed bandits attacked a Baptist church in Kakaudadi community in Chikun local government area of Kaduna State. According to reports, the gunmen stormed the church while worshippers were still in service and started shooting sporadically. 2 persons were killed on the spot while several others were whisked away to an unknown location. Now, the Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs in Kaduna, Samuel Arwan, confirmed the attack but did not give further details. President of the Kaduna Baptist Convention, Reverend Ishaya Jangadu, says they are yet to ascertain the number of worshippers abducted. This latest attack is coming 4 months after attack on Bethel Baptist College in Chikun local government area. 121 students were abducted and 2 military personnel killed in the process. Now, Supreme Court, to court issues now. The Supreme Court has adjourned hearing in the application challenging jurisdiction and competence of the suit instituted by Rivers State government to stop the federal government from ceding 17 oil wells in the state to Imo State to 17th January 2022. The 7-member panel, led by Justice Kudirat Kekere Ekun, fixed the new date after counsels to the matter moved for various applications. Rivers State had dragged the Attorney General of the Federation and the Imo State government before the Supreme Court, seeking a declaration that the boundary between Rivers and Imo State, as delineated on Nigerian administrative map and other map bearing similar delineations, are inaccurate and do not represent the legitimate boundaries between both states.
There's a boundary dispute with respect to some oil wells against Imo State. But we joined the Attorney General of the Federation, who is a necessary party because some of the regulatory bodies, like the National Boundary Commission, the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Allocation Committee, etc., are federal agencies.
And that's it for the news this morning for Tuesday.
Welcome back. Let's do the newspaper headlines, shall we? First, we start off with the Punch newspaper. And making the headlines this morning, we have 10 die as 21-story building collapses in Lagos. Designer warned of tragedy. About 40 workers were on site when the building came down, says eyewitness. Developer, engineers, clients, others trapped. Sanwo-Olu orders investigation. And that's a very sad story here. And at the bottom of the paper, we have Olukoya suits fined blogger to publish guilt judgment, faces jail threats. And Ogu issues 60-day ultimatum to unvaccinated residents, plans office transport ban. And also here we have EFCC picks up Obi Kubana, alleges money laundering tax fraud. And I'll just run through it now. At the bottom of the paper here also we have fuel queues resurface in Nasarawa, Abuja, Niger marketers hike price. And finally, monarch denies villagers killed customs men. Residents flee Ogun community. And that's it and many more on the cover of the Punch newspaper. Next off, we have the Nation newspaper. Making the headlines here, government owes 774,000 jobs beneficiaries 7.3 billion naira. And bank issues to blame, says Keyamo. Payments will be before year end. And here we have fracas at House of Assembly over Speaker's removal. Lawmakers arrested. And at the bottom of the paper here, 4 die in collapsed 22-story Ikoyi, Lagos building. And finally here, Lassoth begins laser treatment for kidney stones. And governors can't control PDP. And that's it on the cover of the Nation newspaper. Next up, we have the Daily Sun. And making the headlines here, excuse me, 6 dead. Many trapped in Lagos 21-story building collapse. Developer Oshibona among recovered bodies. Sanwo-Olu orders immediate probe. And also here we have police arrests, release Plateau Speaker, 11 lawmakers. And also making the headlines here on in 2023, PDP to rescue Nigeria, says Otom. And APC Governor's DG charges commends PDP over successful convention. And IGP orders probe into invasion of Odili's residence. And finally, here we have aviation handlers threaten strike over National Assembly embargo on new NCAA rates. And editors task government on safe enabling environments for journalists. And at the top of the paper here, Soludo Andilba fights dirty at Anambra Guba debate. And that's it on the newspaper headlines this morning.
Welcome back. Now, yesterday, the sad news that a 21-story building collapsed in Ikoyi yesterday. It came through social media mostly before the news stations, began to give more details, because there was a lot of speculation about how many people were in the building at the time, who it was, and so many questions that had yet to be answered even till this morning.
Yes, indeed. It was very sad, especially with the videos that you could find on social media, people crying, people giving different accounts. It was, however, said that there might have been some people in the building while it collapsed. I think the news we also told that the papers also told about 6 people have been identified as being inside of the building while it collapsed.
Yeah. And then some people, there was also a video of a survivor, one person, and then about 2 bodies that I've seen that were evacuated or that have been taken out already. But the thing now, it gets back to the question: how was this allowed to happen? How was this allowed to happen? So, I was telling someone earlier this morning that even before this time, I'm more comfortable getting into high-rise around my arena area, the older ones, the ones that were built in the 60s and 70s. I'm more comfortable in those ones than in the very, very new ones in the VI and Ikoyi area. I don't know why. I trust those ones even much more than these newer ones. And now we're getting to see. Someone mentioned that, look at, there's this luxury building that I know that you can use a spoon to go through the wall to the other place.
Wait, where?
Wow.
Yeah, I don't want to mention.
On
the island there.
Oh
you can use something, if you chip at the wall, it's just going to chip in like that.
Wow, that's scary.
Some of these new buildings.
Anyways,
scary.
Building collapses are not uncommon in this part of the world.
Lagos.
Yes, and this is quite sad. According to reports, it's a construction site. It's still, construction is still ongoing in that building, and it's a luxury apartment. So even earlier that day, the developer had already even brought prospective buyers.
Wow.
Yes.
It was still on sale.
Yes.
Wow. Which is very funny, because it was actually told that the Lagos State government had shut that building down because from a year ago, the building consultant had backed off of the construction, saying that they cannot, guarantee the fidelity of the structure, one of the structures, because something about it not reaching standards that they could
Yes.
Now, I find that means that the developer's integrity
is a question here.
Was at stake, so he had like back out.
So thankfully he did back out. Well, I'm saying thankfully now.
So
Consultant, yeah. Because he would have probably been on the chopping block right now because, you know, in the end, especially it's the fact that it's in a highbrow area, you wouldn't expect people to be cutting corners in terms of standards of construction.
You know, it's funny because I also had this conversation this morning about it, and according to reports still, this is quite a reputable construction, an international construction firm that's handling, and they have, you know, handled several, you know, building sites across Nigeria. So it's not new to them that this would happen. So that it's not new to them, you know, when it comes to construction. But this is entirely new. There's investigations are still ongoing, of course.
I've got many questions.
So, you know,
one of my questions is, first off, if there were people there, maybe not occupants, but there were people that were still inside a building, and we also had
construction workers.
There were construction workers, but this construction site had been declared like a no-go zone by the government, first of all, and then even the people, the consultants had already said that this we can't trust, we don't trust fidelity. What are the structures put in place when a building is closed down by a state? Say, okay, this building has been closed down. What do they do? Is there like a cordoned off area, or are there apparatus or mechanisms put in place to ensure that people do not go there?
You know, and
why has it still been left standing for the past 1 year, even after all these statements and all these documents have been put out about it? Why not just bring it down?
You know, I didn't see this anywhere, but it's not new that people cut corners when it comes to getting away with things in this part of the world. We see it happen. So, for example, there was this estate, you know, very close to my estate. It wasn't an estate before. We just discovered that. Wait a minute, this now has a gate, and then before we knew it, it was shut down. I mean, like I'm sure it was the Lagos State official, government officials that came and they shut it down. But then I was like, you know what? Give it a couple of days. This thing will be open. Because for them to have shut it down in the first place, it shows that it was not meant to be.
In the first place. Yeah, true.
Do you understand? So these things happen. I'm not saying that there were discrepancies when it comes to, you know, shutting it down, or maybe the regulatory body's not doing their job.
But it's Nigeria.
But it's
a corrupt place. People will go around.
Apparently, there were 2 other buildings in the same compound.
There were 3 buildings. And one came down.
Yeah, so 2 others that are still standing. But the company you talked about pulled out after the second one was completed, and the third one started to go up. Now, the integrity of those other 2 buildings, whether they've been sold to people, the property has been sold to people, because I'm thinking about...
I'll tell you something.
What a mind, you know, I can't use that word on air, it'll be for people that own the other flats in the same...
Bought them already.
But I'll tell you something. Anybody who is a building constructor, not me, will tell you that once you have such an impact in an area like that, whatever buildings are around them are definitely affected. So you have to test these buildings and make sure that they are capable of withstanding certain stresses and stuff like that. Otherwise, they are also those 2 buildings. I wouldn't go next to them.
I think we also
in some climes, even before this had happened, if it had been mentioned over a year that the structural integrity has issues, they have to have a controlled demolition.
That
one is confirmed. For talking, there is no testing about the other 2 buildings. They will come down. They have to come down.
Have you seen how many sky-rise buildings are
there?
There are so many.
The point where I remember reading this thing. There's a book Donald Trump put up, and he has in New York. He has the tallest building, and this was before the 70s when there was a kind of decree came in and all of that, and then even before these high-rise buildings, there was also a report that the permission was given for 15 stories, and then the person took it up to 21. You understand? We see that a lot. We see something that someone just puts a very, you know, weak foundation and all of that, and then you just try and put all of that.
So
my point is that as that thing stays, as if he was given all the warning, it is one too many. It's happened too many times.
Who do we blame, however? Who do we go to? Who do we say this
Anyway, they are still
stops
trying
at
to get
your
people
table?
out of the rubble. Our condolences to those who have lost to the families of those who have lost their lives in this building collapse. It's really sad, and let's hope that everybody is brought out.
Yeah.
Bye.
Do stay tuned. It's still Wake Up Nigeria. Even on that sad note, we'll be right back to give you some entertainment stories right after this.
Hello and welcome back. You're still on to Wake Up Nigeria. And yes, with me in the kitchen this morning is Chef Ken.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. I've missed you.
Oh, same here.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
All right. So this morning, Chef Ken will be making beans and roasted plantain porridge. It's quite a mouthful. But on your screen right there are the ingredients, people. So over to you, Chef Ken.
Yeah, so today we are making beans and roasted plantain porridge. Okay. I particularly picked this dish because I'm not a beans lover. No, I'm not. So I try to incorporate a lot of things in it for me to enjoy it.
Okay.
So we are about to make something simple, but, you know, we always take it up there.
When I was expecting you to say quick, and then you didn't, because I'm like, beans is not an easy, like a quick meal. As much as it might be easy to make, well, that also depends on the ingredients you're working with when, cooking beans. Okay, so let's run through the ingredients. You haven't gone through them, so let's go through them so that people watching can know that, oh, yeah, so this is what we're using for our beans this morning.
Okay, so right here I have my parboiled beans.
What kind of beans is that?
This is the honey beans.
Honey?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I have my fish, my smoked fish. I have my smoked goats. This is my pepper, tomato, onion. I have my roasted plantain. That's the popular street food bole. Then I have here some leaves. This is scent leaf and uziza and some ugu. Then palm oil, of course. Salt.
And our salt is seasoned.
Yes.
All right, so I saw a video of you over the week, sometime last week, where you did this beans porridge.
Yes.
And it looked really beautiful. I loved it. I'm not a beans lover myself. As a matter of fact, it's on my food timetable. It's one of those days, but I usually have them on a Monday. So one of the, yes, I was supposed to have, but I'm like, I would not eat beans. But I like the way that you cook it. You mix it rich, and it's colorful. Yeah, it's lovely.
You just
to
want
look
to
at.
taste it, like what's in here.
Yeah. So let's start cooking. While you're trying to get the pot, let's explain the process for our meal this morning.
Okay.
And
so this morning I already have my parboiled beans. I'm just going to add that into the pot very quickly.
Okay.
Let me give this a rinse.
So how much water are we putting in the pot? Are we going to like really cook it?
No, not a lot of water, because this is as good as done now.
Okay.
I'm just going to have this. I'll chop all of this up. Then
we are chopping?
Yes, yes. I'm going to chop the pepper, the tomato, the onion. Okay. I'm going to cut this roasted plantain into cubes, and everything just, I married them in this pot. And I have my porridge.
Okay, looks like a match made in heaven. I'm really excited about this recipe this morning. If you're just joining us, people, on the show with me is Chef Ken in the kitchen. And this morning we are making beans and plantain porridge, roasted plantain porridge. Yes, I know someone was trying to ask, like, why does the plantain have to be roasted? Well, there's nothing wrong with allowing your imaginations run wild. Be creative in the kitchen, creative with your food. Make it beautiful and exciting, to eat, right? Yes. It doesn't have to be one way, straight jackets kind of work, cooking beans. I know there's the ewa going kind. This is another kind of, just another way you can enjoy your beans. And for those of you who, I remember growing up and we're thinking, oh, we eat a lot of beans and then you grow taller. Yeah.
That was the lie we were told.
Yes, that's one of the lies we were told. But it doesn't make you taller, because we all know that it's not exactly so rich in protein. But, hey, we are going to get cooking, but we'll let you in on the process for our recipe this morning. Don't worry. You are a part of our kitchen and our food recipe this morning. And of course, right now we have to head over to the couch.
Welcome back. It's about time for us to take a conversation on parenting. And with us, we have Mr. Femi Shofolue. Now, he's a thoroughbred, passionate youth teacher with more than a decade hands-on experience with teens and youth counseling. Today, we're discussing a very delicate topic, Do you understand your child's love language? Interesting question. Have we even begun to understand our own love languages before we even start to assume or figure out what our kids' love languages are? Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me this morning.
All right. So for those that don't understand what a love language is, can we break it down as quickly as possible?
Yeah, love language actually is the way your child, understand love. Is the way they communicate, basically, and that is the way you refill their emotional battery.
Okay.
Understand? You see a child misbehaving sometimes, probably the emotional battery is down, and they need to be refilled. And if you don't use the appropriate love language to do this, they will not understand you.
Okay.
And they don't feel loved.
So for adults, we've begun to, have a lot of discussions on love language, spouse to spouse, partner to partner. And it has to do with how to give and receive love. Now, it's a given that most parents, the highest percentage of parents, love their children. So that's a given. Are you saying there's a special way that I need to start learning to show love to my child?
You see, you love your child, that is true, but how do you communicate that love? That is the most important thing.
Okay.
If I say that I would like to feed you, and I'm giving you the kind of food that you hate, yeah, it's food, true, but you don't eat every food, basically. Okay. So you don't keep feeding me the food I hate and expect me to enjoy it. So you need to understand what your child loves language is and use that to communicate with them effectively. And when we talk about love language, basically there are 5 of them, according to Cardy Chapman in his 1992 classic book.
Okay.
Number 1 is word of affirmation. Some children, they love you to affirm them, speak positively to them.
Okay.
And then we have physical touch. Some of them, they just want to touch anytime you come in. If you go out 5 times a day, they want to hug you every time you come back. Anywhere you are, they want to be around you. Then we have the act of service. Some of them, they just prefer you do something for them rather than touching them here and there. Help them wear their clothes. They can wear it, true. But the moment you are trying to help them adjust their color and everything, you see them smiling, they enjoy it. Then we have quality time. These ones, they don't want you to go out. They don't even mind if you don't go to work. There is no amount of communication you can do to them, letting them try to understand why you need to go and work. They just want you at home. They necessarily don't want you to be touching them like that, but your presence means a lot to them. It gives them confidence. And then we have a gift, which is the most expensive part. It doesn't have to be expensive, actually. Each time you go out, you can just come home with something like candy, face towel, a new pencil, gift. That is how those ones understand that you love them. And if you don't do that, there is no other thing you can do for somebody whose love language is gift that will make them feel loved. You just have to buy them that gift or get them that gift.
Okay, so I'm trying to think about it now from a child's perspective. We are trying to understand the child's love language. Do you think it's something that has to start from when they're a baby, or do you have to wait till they're a certain age before you start communicating?
If you look at everything we have just communicated right now, every child needs them. Okay. But once they pass the age of 5, that is when it begins to become clearer what aspect of this type of care they really, really enjoy. Okay. You understand? There are some, I have a young boy who is just about 2. He come back from school, no, you can't help him off his clothes. He wants to off it by himself. So service, out of service is not for him. Don't touch my shoe. Even though he cannot remove it, he can spend 2 hours there. Don't touch me. But the other one, he just wants you to remove everything for him. In fact, he wants you to undress him and then take him to bedroom, bathe him. So you need to understand, once they have to pass 5, actually, for you to clearly see this. But you can actually start paying attention, even if they are younger than that. Like the one that doesn't want you to touch his shoe, he doesn't want you to off his clothes. You know that one. And there's nothing you can do. When they grow up, it doesn't want act of service. So I want to talk a little bit about gender now. For a boy child and a girl child. So there are some acts or some love languages that are more, well, assumed to be associated with the female child. And there are some that are, assumed to be associated with the male child. There's a way parents, especially in this part of the world, have been made to communicate with the male child. More aggressive, more
you know, military style, giving, you know, giving commands, for instance, for a boy child. You expect the boy child to, you know, in some ways sit up and take charge after a while. But then for a girl child, you know, you probably see parents giving girl children gifts more. You know, can we use gender as a way to...
Gender is not a determining factor in love language.
Okay.
Love language basically has to do with personality. It has nothing to do with gender. I have two sons. The first one wants to be touched, want word of affirmation. Anywhere you are, it just wants to be around you. And you expect a female to possess that kind of attitude. But that is his love language, and you can't change it. If you don't communicate to him that way, you are going to be doing him a lot of disservice. In fact, they will be throwing tantrums, they will be disobedient, they will misbehave just to get that attention. In fact, they don't even mind, you know, misbehaving, to be sincere. They will misbehave just to get your attention. It's negative attention they are getting now, but they don't mind, in as much as it's an attention. And there's nothing you can do about that, you understand? Gender has nothing to do with love language.
And you know, it's interesting because so I have a pair of twins, and one of my girls is all about, you know, what you brought when you get home. Now, we've heard this many times from many parents, you know, saying, is it every day I must bring something for you? But there's the other one doesn't really mind. She just wants to, you know, have contact. So you're basically giving us an outline of what each child needs. So it's very, very possible that different children in the same family have different types of love language.
Definitely.
Okay.
And you see, if your child love language is gift, please don't break a bank. Let me just give you a very good tip.
Okay.
You don't need to buy a $5,000 jewelry for somebody. In fact, it's not the gift they appreciate. It's the fact that you are bringing something.
Okay.
So you can break $5,000 down into 500 places.
Okay.
That is $10. And you can use $10 to buy gift for somebody for the next 500 times you are missing them. And that means a lot to them than somebody who buy them a $5,000 chunk gift at once.
I have to say thank you so much for coming to talk to us on this. Now, hopefully this has been a good enough guide for you to maybe figure out what your children's love languages are. Please use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Communicate with us, and hey, maybe we'll be able to help you out a bit. But MM is on standby in the kitchen at this point.
All right, Titi, thank you very much. Welcome to the kitchen, guys. This is Chef Ken. Say hello now.
Hello, hello.
Don't be too serious with this pepper. Anyways, this morning, Chef Ken will be making beans and roasted plantain porridge. I'm very excited about this recipe because I'm not a beans lover, but we're adding a twist to this beans that we're cooking today, this beans recipe this morning.
Yes.
Let's talk about the ingredients, Chef Ken. Over to you.
Okay, so like I said, we have our parboiled beans. We have
I'm
our
just going to open up the pot so that we can...
We have our roasted goats.
Which is cooking here already.
I cut that into cubes. I'm boiling it a little bit, just so it's
Did you add any seasoning cubes to it?
No, just salt.
Okay.
Just salt. I'm going to add this. I've cut up my roasted plantain as well.
Okay.
I decided to use roasted plantain because I wanted semi-ripe plantain, and I wanted to marry the flavors. Like I didn't want to cook it in the beans for the plantain to lend any taste into it. So when you're eating the food, I want you to feel the individual tastes.
Okay, so for the roasted plantain, did you prepare it in any special way? Or
No, I just grilled, I just grilled it, yes.
Okay, and I see that all of the flavor from the goat's meat is also going to be infused in this. It's really, really going to come well together. I would call this a sort of pepper beans because that's a lot of pepper.
No.
Like, that is a lot of pepper beans.
I might not use all.
No, but it's okay. I mean, some of us like pepper.
Okay.
Well, I think so. Okay, so let's talk about the process for our meal today. How are we cooking it? What are we doing first?
So your beans, it's best to cook your beans first. You parboil your beans.
Okay.
Then you just boil your goats. I'm going to chop all of this up. Then I would start first by frying my sauce. I throw in the smoked fish. I throw in the goat's meat. Then I put this into the beans. That's the plantain. It goes into the beans. Okay. Then I just turn my sauce into the beans, and stir it up, and that's it.
Ooh.
That's it.
Ooh, I just felt a rumble in my tummy now. I won't even lie.
I'm sure you won't see beans the same way after this.
I promise you guys. And if this is something that you would like to try out, guys, please let us know. We'd like to see pictures. Send in your videos on all our social media platforms at TVC Connect. You could also tag Chef Ken. What's your social media?
Ken Wow Kitchen.
Ken Wow Kitchen, please. We'd like to see all of those things. Send them in, people. Let's know that you're part of our kitchen. We have to go on a quick break now, people. It's the top of the hour. This makes 45 minutes. Ha, ha, ha. Stay tuned, people. You don't want to miss any part of it.
Hi, now. We love the fact that when you get out of bed every morning, we're right here to help you get right into the swing of things. Now, welcome back. Feels really, really good to be right here hanging out with you guys.
Yes, it's another beautiful Tuesday here, and we have made it thus far, even if it's only just this far into the week. Now, this month, indeed, this year, it's going to be a grand one. The rest of it, whatever we have left, and we will be with you every single morning.
Every single morning throughout the week. It's going to be a beautiful show. And, of course, the kitchen has that extra kick in it because we have Chef Ken right there. But, hey, let's tell them who we are. My name is Titilaya Oyinson.
And you guys know who I am. My name is Mazino Appeal. Remember, you can always stream the show live, and that you can do on Facebook. And also, what you need to do is go to tbcentertainment.tv on YouTube.
Yeah. When it comes to social media, all the platforms are standing by for your comments and contributions at TVC Connect. And, of course, you can watch us live from absolutely anywhere. Just get our mobile app right there on your device for either Google Play or iOS.
And please, if you haven't started following us, what have you been waiting for? Please do already. The handle is simple as that, TVC Connect on Facebook, Instagram, and also on TikTok. We love that you guys make comments. We always read them. We love to read them, actually.
We still have a really interesting health segment coming your way. We have Dr. Diron Onifade, the CMO of Dr. Connect. He's going to be here to talk about the risk factors for diabetes. And hey, he's one of those people really interested in developing the state of health in Lagos State via health technology and machine learning. And of course, we'll be having our final guest today show up. And she is a gem, literally. Pearl Cardy is an on-air personality, TV presenter, travel blogger, influencer, and yes, a DJ. She's going to be right here on the couch, and we're going to have a chat.
Talk about someone who's been in the public eye for years. Pearl right there has been in the public eye for so long. In fact, I should take notes from her television. And that actually brings something to note. Talking about being in the public eye and the pressures that it puts on you. Big Brother Housemaid Season 6, Michael yesterday told on Instagram that he is under some certain kind of pressure and that he's mentally mentally not okay is what he says, and that he's, what was the word he used again?
He's just stressed out.
He says he's stressed out.
He said he's stressed out.
He's taking a break.
He's taking a break.
Yeah.
It can be a lot of pressure, you know, getting thrust into the limelight, so to speak.
They did not trust him in it. No, he chose it.
Calm down now. Nobody is ever prepared for that kind of limelight.
Yeah, but she's calm, but she's saying the fact now.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
So,
it's different if you were just, if it just came at you. But this is a decision that you made. So it's not something that you just, find yourself. If you think about it, it's a process. You have to prepare for it. You prepare for it. When you go into it, it's a conscious, if you made that effort, it's a choice. You made it, you entered. It's a Big Brother house. So now, the question is, who puts this pressure on them?
Yeah.
Well, so, hey, how do I put it? First of all, I want to also compare this with what we also go through. Yeah. Because we are also in the public eye. You have to also note that you also have
always MMC, this is what you're trying to say. You need to breathe more fire on this one. Like, see, look, you know, when someone said something like, when you want to cut down a tree and you have 10 hours, you spend the first 6 hours sharpening your axe. Do you understand? My point is that, look, you know, especially for this particular kind of show, you knew what you were going into. You know that, especially when you call yourself a reality TV star, you know that every single part of your life.
It's going to be under the microscope.
I appreciate the fact that he's taken a step back to assess it and identifying it. It's very important. Many people are staying with that pain and that pressure, no matter where it was thrust from, whether he stepped into it or whether it was thrust on him, he's identified it. And
what's the name of the other guy
acknowledging it. And he's taking a step
last week as well.
No.
No, not Boma. The other guy who was seen in South Africa.
Okay, so now the question now is,
Shola.
The question I want to ask is, must everything be on social media? I get that we are in the public eye, and we are, social media is probably the oxygen that we breathe in now. But does everything need to be in the public eye? It was the same question I asked during the whole Messi's issue with her baby, her child, and then must everything be on social media?
If it is to do you,
I have to say, anytime there's a public notice of that sort, I think it's very key for the people around him to, come around him and actually have conversations with him. Let him get it out now, rather than it turning to something else down the line.
All right, Titi, you're a friend. You can reach out.
Mental health issues ain't no joke, but we have to take the news at this point.
Welcome back, second hour here for a Tuesday. My name is Mazino Appeal. Let's do the news. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed optimism that Africa's plan to restore over 100 million hectares of degraded landscape for productive agriculture is achievable. He made this remark on Monday in Glasgow, Scotland, at the side event of the Climate Change Summit, COP26, on the Great Green Wall, co-hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron. The Prince of Wales and the Mauritanian President Mohamed Ould Ghazouani. This side event with the theme Accelerating the Land Restoration in Africa, the case of the Great Green Wall initiative is to ascertain if its goal of restoring over 100 million hectares of degraded landscape for productive agriculture is still on course. President Buhari reminded the gathering about the 4th edition of the One Planet Summit on Biodiversity, organized by the French government in Paris, France, on the 11th January 2021, whose outcome includes the pledge of $19.6 billion by a coalition of international communities to upscale the implementation of the Great Green Wall initiative in Africa. Now, at least 2 persons have been killed and several other worshippers abducted when armed bandits attacked a Baptist church in Kakao Daji community in Chikun local government area of Kaduna State. According to reports, the gunmen stormed the church while worshippers were still in service and started shooting sporadically. 2 persons were killed on the spot while several others were whisked away to unknown destinations. Now, the Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs in Kaduna, Samuel Arunwa, confirmed the attack but did not give further details. President of the Kaduna Baptist Convention, Reverend Ishaya Jagadu, says they are yet to ascertain the number of worshippers abducted. This latest attack is coming 4 months after attack on Bethel Baptist College in Chikun local government area. 121 students were abducted then, and 2 military personnel killed in that process. To cut issues now, the Supreme Court has adjourned hearing in the application challenging jurisdiction and also competence of the suit instituted by Rivers State government to stop the federal government from ceding 17 oil wells in the state to Imo State. The 17th January 2021, a 7-member panel led by Justice Kudirat Kekerekun fixed the new date after counsel to the matter moved the various applications. Rivers State had dragged the Attorney General of the Federation and the Imo State government before the Supreme Court, seeking a declaration that the boundary between Rivers and Imo State, as delineated on Nigerian administrative map and other map bearing similar delineations, are inaccurate and do not represent the legitimate boundaries between both states.
There's a boundary dispute with respect to some oil wells against Imo State. But we joined the Attorney General of the Federation, who is a necessary party because some of the regulatory bodies, like the National Boundary Commission, the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Allocation Committee, etc., are federal agencies.
And that's all we have for the news now.
Welcome back. Now, today we're joined by Dr. Diron Onifade. He is the CMO of Dr. Connect. and he's here to talk about the risk factors for diabetes. Now, Dr. Diran is interested in developing the state of health in Lagos State. He's using health technology and machine learning to help drive the new trend of the profession in the country, and it's a great pleasure to have him in the studio. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's nice to be here.
All right, so I do know that on the 14th of November is World Diabetes Day. So this topic actually really does fall in line with one of their themes. But let's talk about the types of diabetes before we touch on the risk factors.
Okay, so there are basically 3 types of diabetes. We have the type 1, the type 2, and the gestational diabetes. That is the ones you see in pregnant people.
Okay.
So those are basically the 3 types, and each of them have their own peculiarity and the causative factors. So the type 1, basically you see it in young people, and it's because of the pancreas, they're not producing insulin. Insulin is what you need to convert your glucose, that your body will be able to use it. So when that is not happening, the blood glucose accumulates in the system and gives you diabetes. So that is type 1.
What are the risk factors for type 1?
For type 1. Okay, the risk factors basically is family history. If there's family history, someone in your family has it before, you can have it. Then there are some certain diseases of the newborn, or even elderly too. When you have some disease, it can make you prone to have type 1. So those are the basic things that make you to have type 1 diabetes. The family history is a very strong one. Family history is very strong.
So let's touch on type 2.
Type 2.
Yes.
So type 2 is the commonest. That's what we see most of the time. When you see an adult having diabetes, most of the time is always type 2. So a lot of things can cause it. One of it is sedentary lifestyle. People that don't do anything, from AC to AC, from your office, in your car, you come back. That's a major risk factor. Another risk factor is there's a family history. Maybe you have a brother, a sister, or mother that have had diabetes before. The likelihood that you are going to have diabetes in your generation again. Then another very strong one is diet. Then obesity is a very strong one too. Lots of people, because they are overweight, then because they don't want their diet and all that, it's prone them to have that. And that is that for type 2. For gestational, most times obesity is another very strong part. Then the older you are when you get pregnant, the likelihood that you might have gestational diabetes.
The older, so you're saying it's more high risk for women who get pregnant later in life?
Yes.
Yes. Is there anything that a pregnant person can do to sort of reduce those risk factors?
Yes, so we always tell people that even before you get pregnant, you need to try to make sure that your weight is moderate. If you are obese, you know, we have all these body composition analysis thing that will let you know where your weight risk is at. So try to do exercise and reduce your weight before getting pregnant. And even when you are pregnant, there are still some minor exercises you can do. So you won't just get overweight. So that's a very strong one. Then if you know that there's a family history, maybe your mom or dad has this thing before, you need to start doing exercise. Probably you need to start doing checks, maybe once in a year, twice in a year, depending on the risk factor that you have in your family.
Okay, so for people that don't understand what it is that diabetes does to the body, we did talk about insulin levels and all that, but it does sound very technical. Someone who is a diabetic, right, for an onlooker, what sort of symptoms will they see?
Oh, that's a very good question. You know, it can be very silent for a long time. You cannot just know it that this person has diabetes. You first start seeing some symptoms. You go to urinate frequently, maybe over the night, you just keep wee-weeing, going to toilet and all that. That is one. Then you start drinking a lot of water. Every time you're thirsty, you want to drink, you're thirsty, you want to drink. When you see those signs, you need to go and check your sugar level. And that is what you see most of the time. Another thing, you see some people just start losing weight. They don't know why. They're just losing weight all the time. So that's another. But you will not know except you do the blood test. Probably when you do urine test, you might just pick some sugar there, but the blood test is what gives it away, and it's very cheap for you to get those tests done.
Okay, so when you say cheap, or let's say affordable, how, if for instance you noticed any of these symptoms before, how frequently do you believe these checks should be done in a year?
For those that have noticed that before?
Yes.
Okay, so let's divide this into 3.
All right.
Those that have those symptoms but they are not diagnosed yet.
Okay.
Once you have those symptoms, maybe it's borderline, probably the next week you have to do it again. Then when you start being on medication, at least you need to be doing it maybe like daily, depending on the drug. Because these things are things you can do it yourself. They are DIYs. You just do it yourself, just a finger prick, then you know. Then when you are constantly on the medication and it's reduced, there's something we call an HbA1c. It's a glycosylated hemoglobin. That will let us know the sugar level 6 months backward.
Wow.
Retrospectively. Wow. So those things are available. Diabetes is one of those things that have been well researched, and there are quite a lot of things that have been done in that space. So as we get into this space over the months, we open a lot of things that have been done in the diagnosis and treatment of diabetes.
Okay. Now, this year will mark, I think, 100 years.
100 years.
Since insulin.
Insulin has been discovered, yes.
Yes. So, meaning that there is treatment for diabetes.
Yes.
It's not what is considered a death sentence.
There's treatment, but there's no cure.
Wow.
So we need to demarcate those things, because that is one of the things killing our people. And they start having complications. They said, okay, I've been on treatment for a while, now I want to stop. So once you have been treated for a while, you don't stop. It's continuous. It's a lifestyle thing.
Okay.
So you just don't stop the medication, no. Once you're on the treatment, you're on the treatment.
Wow.
Except gestational diabetes that might go away. After delivery, you might not have it again. But once you have gestational diabetes, there's likelihood that you progress to type 2 diabetes.
I have to say thank you so much for coming to talk to us about this today. And it is a very, very serious issue, and many people are going through it. Many people might not have even realized it. Just make sure you see a health professional today if you've heard any symptoms that might communicate with you.
Why did they start it?
We promised you guys.
Started.
And we have her right here with us. We're excited to have Nigeria's, well, one of Nigeria's very first VJs, Pearl Elizabeth Amini Hart, popularly known as Pearl Cardy, in the building.
She's an on-air personality, TV presenter, travel blogger, influencer, DJ, VJ,
all of them.
CJ,
all
MJ.
of them.
It's good to have you.
We just saw her video here.
You're
for
far. Yeah, is this or is that a natural career progression? Did you always want to sing, or it's something like, wow, when you've done VJing and you've presented, I've done this for like 40 years. Maybe let's try something else first.
No, so the crazy thing about it is, growing up, I felt like I was going to be an artist.
Okay.
But, you know, as you grow older, you're going to need some money. You need to sustain yourself.
Very true.
So I needed to get an actual job to be able to, you know, survive and then go through everything else.
Go do what you want to do.
So by the time it was 2020, during COVID, during the pandemic, it's like a wake-up call for everyone, I'm sure.
You're right, you're right.
So during that time, I just felt I just had to do it. You know, it's about time.
It's about time.
And this is something that I know Nigerians don't really like. They don't like you. They just like you to remain in your place.
Exactly.
Because they come and say, what are you singing? Stay in your lane and present. When you hear stuff, because I know, I was talking to someone when you come, I know that people will come after and they say, look, no matter how good you are, they love people that when you see in one place, just remain there. If you're
just be there.
Act there. Don't come and sing. How do you deal with such stuff when you hear stuff like that?
Truth be told, honestly, 100%, I haven't got that from anyone.
Not yet.
Yes, not yet.
Okay.
Exactly, that's the word.
Okay.
I can see them act like it, but not really say it.
Okay.
So these days, I find that a lot of people are like, oh, wow, that's so lovely. You know, I get like a lot of good comments about it. But, you know, in some areas, I just see some mannerisms, but nobody really comes out to tell me, and that's fine, I love it.
We're going to talk about but first off, you're not just a singer, you're not just a songwriter, you also are a DJ as well. I saw all of that, especially during the pandemic while you were locked up, you were doing some major DJ, and I'm like, Pearl, what's going on here?
When did you learn how to do all of that? Was it something just now?
Okay, so about the DJing, I got myself a controller for my birthday. I think the previous year, that was probably 2019. I felt, well, if you know me, you know I really love music. Music is my thing. You know, it's just my whole life. So DJing was a nice way to create music when I hadn't got into the studio.
Okay.
So that's how I got myself that controller. And then I got this guy. I'm like, you know what? I don't really know what button is what, but just show me what is what, and then I'll figure it out.
So kind of like you taught yourself how to do it.
So yes, I did figure it out. Yeah, I did. But then now, recently, in the past couple months, I actually went to professionally learn how to
Oh, really?
DJ.
Here in Nigeria? You can do that here in Nigeria?
I went to KY's Academy.
I didn't know now.
Big shout.
It's DJ now. It's not
DJ.
It's not rocket science.
So there's so much that you do,
Yes.
Especially with the whole VJ career. You're one of Nigeria's very first and very beautiful DJs. Let's put that out there. I have one very interesting question that I want you to answer.
Which
question you prepped us for?
I know, right? Talking about it. Well, we can go through the process.
Well, okay, let's ask this question. Now,
Yes.
I've always wondered, did you ever have a crush on me?
No. That is so strange.
It shocked me.
I didn't even me. I was like, what? Why? I don't, well, I'm not trying to say...
Wait, you're stammering. So.
No. I was going to say, you know what? You know why? I was going to say, why would I have a crush on you? But I don't want it to sound like...
All jokes.
This is Mazino.
It's all jokes. Let's say why I asked that question.
Mazino, you've been in the industry 40 years. Wait.
Still no.
You've been in the industry 40 years. Mazino has been in the industry 80 years.
80 years, still no.
Not 18, 80.
Bro, just take it as this has been one of my fantasies. So let's
All right,
it's
but
probably
that's
one of my
fine.
fantasies.
I'm loving it.
So let's go back to being that VJ thing.
Yes.
First of all, there's so many people who look up to you as being a VJ here in Nigeria. When you see the young people doing what you've done from decades ago, how does it make you feel? Do you think that you've influenced VJing in Nigeria in any way, shape, or form?
Yes, I do, actually. I feel like I've been able to put my print in entertainment in Nigeria already so far. Because I find, and I get a lot of DMs saying, oh, you're my inspiration. I really love how you do this and do that. And sometimes I actually watch TV and I'm like, oh, I think this person's kind of sounding like I would. This is pretty cool. And, but years back, I didn't think that was cool. I felt that was a little bit like, so why is this person acting like me? You know that type of
imitation is the best form of flattery.
Flattery, exactly. So, over the years, I now figured that, this is quite cute. And I absolutely love it. I enjoy it. That's why now I'm trying to do something bigger, something better, something that, is
What is
much
that?
more
What is that
creative.
thing you're trying to do?
I'm doing music. Did you see my video,
So
fam?
when you so there's the music DJing and all of that. What else might you just get into? Because you look like somebody who is just out to just go out into, and which is one thing I like, because not everybody, a lot of people have fantasies in their head. What I would have loved to do, but you are living it out. Look, no matter what people say, you're putting out there. What else would you want to do, or what else would you do in the next?
Well, truth be told, my first ever career that I ever got paid for was acting. That was
for real?
First ever in my life. I was a teenager. I was 15 or something. It was this movie, Kids at War.
Okay.
It was by Rosemary Ingby. She used to be this producer back in the day when we were much younger. So I did that show, and I was just part of the kids. And then after that movie rather. And then after that, I was on another one, Silver Spoon.
Okay.
Which is, I think, directed by Ndubisi Oko or something.
Your father is an actor.
Yes, my dad is an actor. So, yes.
So it's something that I'm sure
So,
from a kid, from growing up,
really,
it's something you'd have wanted to do. You have a tattoo there. I love it.
I have
it's
a lot of tattoos.
But can we see all of them?
This one,
you can't see. Oh, come on, Mazino. What is good? Oh, Mazino, you're really
fantasy.
It depends on where they are.
Oh my gosh.
But this one is Ace of Hearts, or what?
This
what
is Sacred Heart. This is Sacred Heart tattoo.
All right. I love it. It looks like love. Let's talk love. You're not saying anything. We've not associated. Has Pearl
Pearl, exactly.
This is the question.
Yeah, you are talking ahead of us, so it's like this question.
This is the question that
everybody is caught one time or the other with somebody, but we've never caught you with anybody.
Really?
Yeah. So what's up?
You don't hang out. Don't have date nights.
No. That's weird. Of course I do. The thing is, I'm a very private person when it comes to my private life.
Okay.
So you only know what I put out or what I let you see. I don't put any side comment. All those ones are mine.
How has that helped you mentally? Because we had that conversation this morning.
Yes.
Mentally, people who are out in the public, they have certain pressures on them that makes them break down at certain times.
Yes.
We have the case of Michael, there was Shola. How does that help you mentally?
Well, for me, keeping my private life private is like the most precious thing for me, because every time you put out something, you give people the chance, liberty to say just about anything to you, and it could go crazy, and it could just be or what you expect as well.
It's hard to control.
It's something that you actually can't control. what people, and I like to be in control of everything that's happening around me. Oh, I do. Oh, I absolutely.
Mike, stop.
No, I'm not saying it in that way. I don't understand.
Obviously,
today,
we're just having fun with you.
You guys are just on
you love control.
I'm enjoying
I like a
it
woman
too.
that likes control.
I'm enjoying it too. Okay. Well, I like to control things because I don't want them to get out of hand.
Okay.
So with my private life, I just keep it close to my chest. And truth be told, I have my family. I have my family.
Bro, if I don't stop you, Mike won't stop.
Oh,
tell you what, today
love
it's all about your music. First off, we enjoyed the first one, which was Waits. The second one, which is called Far, which we just saw the video, is fantastic. We love the visuals. We love the
see a
form,
bit of that now.
Let's check it out again. When we get back, we're going to pull Pearl into the kitchen, and then we'll give her something very, very delicious to taste.
Beans? Okay, that's it.
Welcome to the kitchen, Pearl. Good to have you here. This is Chef Ken, and put that with that City. You and City. So no introductions there.
Yeah, we already know.
Yeah, and this morning, Chef Ken has made for you beans and roasted plantain porridge. So we'd like you to have a taste. Let us know what you think.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Beans and roasted plantain.
Yeah, so in that we have banla, we have goat's meat, all chopped and seasoned to your taste. Love it? Like it?
Love it.
Love it. Great. Thank you so much, Ken. Always a pleasure.
Honestly,
so
the combo is unbelievable.
Yes,
though.
it is.
I'm wondering.
It makes it, you want to eat.
Yes, sir.
We have Mike and Mazzino on the couch as well. I know they're still, basking in Pearl's euphoria.
You want to speak English? What is that?
Don't worry, I'll invite you into some of my fantasies as well next time.
Whatever, say your goodbyes. Let's go, George.
Bye-bye, everybody.
All right, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Pearl. And to all our guests, you all have been amazing tits.
It's been a tantalizingly tasty Tuesday.
Yes, it has.
And we're going to have a wonderful Wednesday tomorrow.
Yeah, it's one or women.
Wednesday. Let's go. Tomorrow, 7
Have an amazing day, guys.
Bye. Bye.